What's the word? What's the word? It's your boy Lil Durk here with my official NBA 2K25 review. Now, the game has been out for a whole week for me now. I got the early access edition. And I've got a lot of thoughts on this game. If I'm going to be real with you, before 2 days ago, I was going to tell you how terrible this game was. I was going to tell you how terrible it is. Now, some of the glaring issues are really, really bad with this game, in my opinion. And some of the issues are issues that we've had for years when it comes to NBA 2K. For at least the past 2 or 3 years, I think some of these issues have been going on. But overall, before I give it an actual rating and get into details, the game isn't that bad. Some of the complaints that I had, I figured out the solution to, more or less. So let's dive straight in. I think the most important thing to talk about on this game is shooting. I think that's the most important thing to talk about, because I think that was most players' complaint the first weekend of this game being out, is that shooting was really, really hard this year, or just really inconsistent, where your shot timing was changing a lot, where you probably greened a shot and it missed, where you're getting full bars. And then on the tail end, you have players that are hitting whites. The other day, if I was rich, I would have broke my controller. I might have broke my whole PS5, because we were in the park and we lost the game on a white. Someone hit a white to game us. Like, that is ridiculous. That is ridiculous. When I am and let's break it down on why they're hitting whites, right? So they've got this new system for shooting where you can play on high risk, high reward, where it's pretty much green or miss. You can play on normal risk, where, you may make a couple of whites, or you can play on low risk, where you'll probably make a decent amount of your whites if they are good shots. Meaning, if the shot isn't contested, you have a really, really good chance of making that shot. If you're playing on low risk, of course. The trick to that is, on low risk, you kind of have a less chance to green the shot. And on normal risk, you have a little higher chance to green the shot. And on high risk is your best chance to actually green the shot. But if you mistime it, you're going to miss. So the inconsistency with the shooting was my big problem with this game off bat. The thing that I just really couldn't handle. If I'm being honest, it was making me not want to play this game. It was making me frustrated with myself, with my teammates, because I'm showing all of my clips. I didn't clip up any of these clips. These are just 30-second clips that I saved. So the tail end of the clip is probably the good part, the part that I wanted to save. But you'll see, I miss shots. I'm going to miss some shots. I was never a 75, 80% three-point shooter or anything like that. I was high 50s, low 60s at best. So I'm a good player. I'm not a professional 2K player. I play other games. If you watch my channel, I play other games. WWE is probably more of the game that I would put my life on the line in, compared to 2K. WWE 2K compared to NBA 2K, at least. But ultimately, I think that was really driving me crazy, that I had to green all my shots because I chose to go on high risk. At first, I was playing on normal risk. You may see me make a few whites during this video. I know some of those clips are probably still in here, because I was playing on normal risk at first. I didn't even know that was a system that I could change. So once I changed to high risk, I'm not making whites anymore, but I'm looking at other guys that are beating us because they're making whites. And that is the thing that'll upset me more than anything right now with shooting, because I found a more consistent way to shoot the ball, and that is rhythm shooting. At first, when I was trying rhythm shooting, I really wasn't feeling it, because you not only have to time your release, you have to time the rhythm in which you flick the stick up. And for those that don't know, rhythm shooting is when you hold the stick down, and at your release point, where you would usually let go of square or just let go of the stick, if you shoot with the stick anyways, you flick the stick up. So then you get a timing for your tempo as well, that you flick the stick up, which the tempo has to be fluent, because it's a quote-unquote rhythm to it, which of course some of the catches, which I'll get to catches in a minute, later on in this video, we'll talk about catches in NBA 2K. So sometimes, that rhythm will be slightly different. It may be a little faster based on the animation that you get, based on the catch that you get, based on if you're coming off the dribble. You know what I'm saying? And honestly, I haven't seen that many people shooting like this. And some of them are still hitting consistently. And then they'll go 5 for 7 one game and then go 1 for 8 the next game. Because apparently 2K is hoping to not have people shooting in the high 70s from the three, because that is a little unrealistic. I'll be, like Steph Curry's best season is probably like 45% from three. So nobody in real life is shooting 80% from the 3-point line. But this is a game. This is a video game. If you're that good, if you can green all your shots, I think you should be able to green all your shots. That's still a big problem to me, even though I think my rhythm shooting, I don't even think most of my rhythm shooting clips are in this video, because I just really started doing it probably like Sunday, Monday, when I really started like locking in on doing the rhythm shooting. So you may see some of those clips at the end. I'm not even sure if they're in this video at all, if I'm being honest with you. But even with the rhythm shooting, you're not going to make every shot, even if you green it. 2K Labs apparently has tested it out, and if you green, you probably can make about 75% of your shots if you green it perfectly with rhythm shooting. Maybe 75%. Imagine playing Call of Duty and you line up a headshot and 75% of the time you hit the target. The other 25% of the time you don't hit the target, thus missing your headshot that you lined up perfectly. Doesn't make much sense, and ultimately I think that is my glaring issue, the fact that you can't green every shot when you green. And this isn't the first 2K where you get full bars. I think it was 23. Back in the day, I was a no meter player. And then 2K23, I played with my meter on for a majority of the year until the end of the year. I played with my meter on. And I saw and it was really like a testing thing for me too. Because like I said, I've always been a solid shooter. I'm a 50% from the three shooter at bare minimum. I think, and on my builds with higher threes, I'm shooting 60, close, 60%, high 50s at minimum. So I could always shoot, but on 2K23, I think the full bars were terrible. I had so many full bar shots missed because I actually had my meter on. And I kind of liked the meter that they had back then. I had so many full bar shots missed, and that's very frustrating, which on this game, I think the shooting is frustrating for sure, especially when I get to the rim protection on this game and the perimeter defense on this game. I think shooting is very frustrating still. On top of that, people are making whites, and I get that everyone isn't going to be a great shooter. Some people can't shoot at all on 2K. Some people are terrible shooters but are good at everything else in the game. So I guess you give them a chance to actually be good at 2K, because obviously if I know you can't shoot and you can't time your jumper, I'm probably going to leave you open. I'm going to double team your point guard. I'm going to leave you open in the rec and just let you shoot or protect the paint. Now we hogging up the paint. Your cutters can't cut, or if you're a cutter yourself because you can't shoot that well, it also decreases the skill gap. That's the thing. Like I said, I understand everybody can't shoot and everybody isn't going to be a great shooter on any 2K. But at that point, if you can't shoot, now you can put your stuff on low risk and you'll probably make some whites, thus completely reducing the skill gap. Like, this is kind of somewhat a casual friendly game. It's a casual friendly game for the people that aren't that good at the game, but it's not like you can go on here and be really good at this game and then just have casual fun, because of the next thing that I really want to talk about, because I just spent so long talking about shooting, because that's my main issue with this game right now is the shooting. But I don't think it's all right once you get rhythm shooting down. It's a lot better. My other issue is skill-based matchmaking in the rec and in the theater. Now, I haven't seen a complete confirmation from Mike Wang. I haven't seen him speak on it at all. But the fact that there is skill-based matchmaking in the rec, so I've got a friend that's an MVP, and we go in with him and we're playing Pro-Am level teams. Why are the Pro-Am level teams not in Proving Ground or in the Pro-Am? It really makes no sense, and it penalizes us who, me and my team, we're really good at this game. We're really good. I feel like we can beat any team on any given day. But for me to come into the rec and instantly I got people running a zone on me the entire game, it's annoying. It's annoying playing comp teams in the rec. And sometimes I don't have my comp lineup. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes we just got a couple of the people that would be in my comp lineup, and now I'm going into the rec having to play the most sweatiest of sweaty guys just because we're good at the game. Now, I don't mind a challenging game at all. I don't want every game to be a blowout. I don't want to score 150 on every opponent because we have the ability to do that. We have the talent to do those things. But that doesn't mean I want to have to play against a zone all day, every day when I'm playing 2K. I feel like I'm ranting a little bit, so I'm going to run through the next ones. Next one that I want to say is nerf the passing lanes. It is ridiculous how people get these animations where they just start like basically floating, levitating to the steal lane, and the passes are so slow. The passes, the catches, those are problems with the game in my opinion. I think the dribbling is cool. I think that there are still, people that are going to do the glitchy dribble moves, and perimeter defense could be a lot better. I think perimeter defense is trash. They talked about it being better, but I've got an 83 perimeter D on the player that you're seeing out here, and they won't let me stay in front of guys. I'll be clamping somebody, and they'll just brush past me eventually. Now, maybe that's a strength thing. Maybe it's, only having an 83 perimeter D, but I don't see 90 perimeter D. I mean, maybe the gold badge gets you a little more bumps, but I think perimeter D has always been a terrible thing, especially for guys that over dribble. There are a lot of players that get on this game and they over dribble, and eventually they'll get past you because perimeter D is trash. Paint defense was supposed to be better this year, and it isn't. I'm seeing guys get fouled and it say light pressure. How did you get smacked in your face and it was only light pressure? I'm not understanding that at all. You know what I'm saying? So for me, defense, also the shot contest. I understand penalizing people for playing bad defense and sagging off guys that can shoot. But the fact that so many shots are saying open, so many layups are saying open when they are contested, those are bad things on the game right now. You know what I'm saying? While I do think this game is overall fun, I think there are a lot of things that can be better. And I'm not asking for the game to be nerfed and buffed immediately. You know what I'm saying? Don't change everything about the game, because I think that's what happens a lot of time. People get online and they complain the first week of the game instead of getting used to things. That's why I'm happy that I didn't make this video until now, because I think shooting isn't as bad. My main problem with shooting is the fact that people are making whites. I can't deal with people making whites on me and gaming me on a white and they don't even know their shot. That is unfair to a player that's playing on high risk and that actually knows his shot. That's completely unfair to me. Nonetheless, I do think this is a good 2K. I think this has potential to be a great 2K. There are just many things that need to be smoothed out. I haven't dealt with that delay that a lot of players are still dealing with in a while. I only dealt with it like the second or third day of the game. Since then, I really haven't dealt with that delay and that choppiness. That was really, really terrible that day that we were dealing with it. Like, the game was unbearable to play. But other than that, I think the game is really good. I think there's a lot of things for them to fix. Like I said, right now, I'd give the game about a 7.5, really. I was going to tell you that this game was terrible a couple of days ago until I got Rhythm Shooting down, because I do think, like I said, I do think that's a glaring issue with this game, is the shooting overall and people making whites, and I can't make my greens consistently. That's just not fair. But I won't tell you this is a terrible 2K. I won't lie to you on that note. I think the game is fun. The game is good. I've got a high steal, so I'm getting a lot of steals in those passing lanes. I do think that the passing lane should be nerfed just a little bit, because it's a little ridiculous with the terrible pass animations that we get. But you know, I'll do more videos on 2K and talk about my opinions on things that they're doing and things that they're changing. I'm going to hop into my GM mode and I'm going to try out all the other different modes because this is just on my career, really. This is just me talking about my career. So once I get into those other modes and I test out my GM, my NBA and everything that they have to offer, I'll make videos on those too. I'll maybe even make some career rebuild videos, like a Kobe Bryant career video. I think I want to do that really and start in like 2010 or whatever and see what would happen if Kobe Bryant would have stayed. I may do it on live and then save some clips of it and make an actual video of it. But nonetheless, guys, it's your boy Lil Durk, man. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. If you watched all the way through to the end, make sure you drop a subscription to the channel, man. Like, comment. Let me know what y'all thinking about NBA 2K25. This was a long one. Next review I'll try to make a little shorter. But again, appreciate y'all tapping in, and I'll talk to y'all soon.